Do you want to prevent 80% of disruptive behavior from happening before it even occurs? If you said yes, make sure to listen to this. My name's Selena, a coach for new and first year teachers, and welcome to the 30-day Classroom Calm Now challenge, where over the course of 30 days, I show you how to get your classroom to run itself. When I first started teaching, I was terrified that in order to get my students to listen and follow expectations in class, I would have to be the mean teacher. In fact, there was even this myth going around, or this idea going around, that good teachers don't smile until November because that's the only way to get your students to listen to you. But over the years, I've learned that the number one way to prevent disruptive behavior is actually with consistency. This allowed me to get my students to follow expectations without taking recess away, without yelling. Here's how we get there. Enter the different steps of proactive action. In other words, how are you going to be proactive when a student partakes in a behavior so that they learn that every action has an equal reaction? You're going to respond, prevent a lot of disruptive behavior from occurring. Instead of giving your students 1,000 warnings, they know that each time they're not going to get a warning. You are going to take action to stop the disruptive behavior from happening in class. To do this, simply figure out each time a student partakes in disruptive behavior, what are you going to do the first time, second time, third time, fifth time, etc. a student is being disruptive in class. For example, let's say I have students who are talking to each other while I'm teaching. The first step I'm going to do, I use in my class, is proximity. I'm going to walk around the room while I teach, and I'm going to naturally stand next to the people that are talking just to see if they fix and follow the expectations in class. The second time that they do this, let's say I use proximity and they're still not following expectations, I'm going to shout out 3 students who are following expectations, and I'm going to specifically compliment what I like that they are doing. For example, I love how student has our eyes facing forward. I love how student B has a voice level at a 0. I love students. Thank you, students, for being an active listener and taking notes while I teach. The third time students are being disruptive, or let's say they continue, this is when I'm going to pull them for a sideline conversation. I'm not going to call them out in the middle of class for everyone to notice, because that's opening up to a power struggle. Instead, I'm going to invite them to come talk to me on the side. The fourth time is going to be a logical consequence. The fifth time is going to be a family contact, and eventually this might turn into a behavior plan. You have a map on exactly how you're going to respond to disruptive behavior. It takes the guesswork out of it and makes sure that you are being consistent each time that you have to respond to disruptive behavior. If you love these tips, make sure to comment master so I can send you my free classroom management guide. Make sure to follow for part 12, because in part 12, I'm going to be sharing the biggest myth about consequences.